I'm sure you come across the really weird phenomenon of fake anti-Semitic incidents, and I'm talking about the really, really obscure ones. So over the last year, since the 7th of October, we've seen images of various people, including the IDF soldiers, find Mein Kampf books in pristine condition in Palestinian houses despite being found in rubble. That's been done on multiple occasions. But there's a new one in Australia, the anti-Semitic banknotes. The country is unrecognisable under the Albanese government. AJA received a report that a Jewish man withdrew money from an ATM near a synagogue. This is what he found. And then underneath, they added another picture with the caption, seems to be part of a larger problem. So that's 3 individual notes with the exact same handwriting and placement. Now, I don't think I need to explain this, but I will anyway. What are the chances that you withdraw money from an ATM with multiple banknotes with the exact same scribblings? It's 0. Also, ATMs don't dispense money with markings on it. They're getting so lazy with these claims. I mean, honestly, how are these just not a straight up parody? The kinds of anti-Semitism smears we used to see, specifically with Jeremy Corbyn, were at least semi-believable. I mean, they fooled a lot of people. But what in the world is going on? Now, people have said to me, you wouldn't say there are lots of false cases of Islamophobia or anti-black racism, so why is it okay, seemingly as a progressive, to then say there are false cases of anti-Semitism? And I think that's a good point that I want to address. So on the surface, it sounds like I'm being a reactionary and the left downplays anti-Semitism when it wouldn't dare do it with other minority groups. But here's the difference. There is a concerted effort to push false claims of anti-Semitism. Why? Because it's a useful tool to advance the interests of Israel. Zionists have tried to make Jewish people feel scared because if the narrative is that Jews are unsafe no matter where they are in the world, then they may want to go to Israel. That's the message. Israel is the only safe place for Jewish people. And in order for Israel to expand its settler colonial project, it wants a high population. So there's a very specific reason why false cases of anti-Semitism exist, which is entirely different to other minority groups. And it's why I believe that Zionism is inherently anti-Semitic, because 1, it conflates Jewish people and the state of Israel, which is actually one of the definitions of anti-Semitism from the IHRA. And secondly, deliberately making Jewish people feel scared and fearful to advance a political project, I think, is very anti-Semitic. So even though seeing these blatant attempts at falsely making anti-Semitic claims are clownishly funny, the issue itself is really sinister because it's not just obviously fake cases such as these, but there have been so many which have been far more believable. And do you know of all people it hurts the most? The Jewish community. Why is that? Well, for 2 main reasons. 1, like every minority group, they are not a monolith. Jewish people have diverse thoughts. They don't subscribe to one way of thinking, yet Zionism pushes the narrative that they should. This is why so many anti-Zionist Jewish people are caught in the net of anti-Semitism accusations. I mean, how mad is it that so many Jewish people are accused of anti-Semitism or self-hating Jews? It's deplorable. And I once again point to the IHRA, and one of their definitions of anti-Semitism is equating Jewish people and Israel, which is what Zionists do. Just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you have to swear fealty to Israel. That's madness. The second reason is the trivialization of anti-Semitism. Once you start scrawling over banknotes with obvious fake racist imagery and text, what do you think that does? It's the boy who cried wolf. Do it too many times, more and more people will dismiss accusations of anti-Semitism, which is dangerous. It's the likes of David Menzer, who recently accused Amnesty of anti-Semitism because it declared what Israel was doing is a genocide. Or Netanyahu calling the ICC, the ICJ, and every country that's spoken out against Israeli war crimes as anti-Semites. This shit needs to stop because real anti-Semitism is rising. Just look at Twitter with all the open Nazis on there. Yet I see Zionists barely mention these people and specifically target the left. Why? Because it's about defending Israel's monstrous actions.
Support independent media. Support social justice that's there on social media. Thank you. Turn left.